Mic check, 1, 2. You are now tuned in to We Don't Play Radio. I'm your host, Favor Obasi Ike, and people also call me Flav Beats. And today, we're going to be talking to the very special JP, also known as John Patrick. He's an artist, he's a producer, he does a lot of stuff. He actually even teaches kids now. And he has an amazing project coming up for you. So before I go any further, let's call him together and invite him into the playroom. Shall we? Here we go. Yo!
My B, I was in the restroom.
It's all good. Welcome to the playroom, though.
Yo. Welcome. I'm here.
From the restroom to the playroom. How about that?
Straight up. No excuses.
Facts, bro. First of all, let people know who you are because you are tuned in. I let people know a little bit about you in the beginning of this episode, but I want them to really know who you are. So the floor is yours now.
Yo. So how y'all doing? I hope everybody's having a great time whenever they listening to this. I hope you guys are blessed. My name is John Patrick. That was a name given to me by my incredible parents, and I'm living up to my name every day. So yeah, I'm John Patrick, and my mission is simply to spread love on this earth. And I would love for you guys to go with me on this journey. As I don't even know where it's gonna take me, but I'm just following the road. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Like, give the people like a little bit of your musical background, because now you've told them a little bit about what you do and your name and what your purpose is. But I'm sure they're wondering what else you haven't said, which I know is a lot, because they're yet to find out, and when they do, they're gonna be so impressed. So this is a Kickstarter.
I appreciate it. So pretty much when it comes to my music, what I just try to do in the music is just give a message. With everything, just have a message in it, because our music supersedes, every art we create supersedes us in life. So we die, but our music, our music sticks around, our art sticks around. Whatever we create sticks around for, as authentic as it is, that's how long it's gonna last. So when I think about that, I try to make as much authentic, genuine, and quality art as I possibly can. And so for me, what that looks like is making music that edifies and builds up the people in my community and just anybody who's listening, really, in general. And so what I just try to do is motivate, inspire, but not in a corny way, though. Like not in that whack, not to call it whack, but not in that way. I try to do it in a way that I would want to hear it as well. So I know I'm talking a lot, but I really care about this. So,
damn, how long you been doing this?
So let's say, so my first mixtape was in 2012. So that was 8 years ago. But like, I'm never, as long as I remember, music has always been a part of my life. My mom is a gospel singer, and so I literally used to follow her to all of the churches and all the events that she would work at.
Major shout out.
She would minister at facts across the world. You know what I'm saying? So I've been some places with her, and I saw what it does. You know what I'm saying? As a young age, that kind of stuff gets imprinted in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So me getting older, and I never for once thought that I wouldn't be able to do the things that I've seen my mom do. You know what I'm saying? Never for once thought that I wasn't gonna be in front of crowds pouring my heart out. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen my mom do it. My mom made it, showed me it was possible. I'm blessed. She showed me it was possible, and so it was just, all I had to do was If I wanted to stick to her level, all I had to do was follow her blueprint. But at the same time, I knew that if I got into it, I would probably go a little harder, just, you know, running with the baton that she's.
Exactly. And she has really, really, really set like a high standard because of how important and influential she is. Like, as soon as she touches that microphone, you know it. Like, you know the glory of God is coming down. And it's because she has that anointing, that special grace, and it's a blessing to see it. You know, even your sister also sings, you know. So there's so much in music and family that I know you can really, really put out there, and you've been dropping authentic music from the jump. And I remember this video that went viral not too long ago when you were teaching kids how to like get, you know, with the vocabulary and the rap and everything. And honestly, that thing, to me, I would want my kid to be in that class. High key.
That's beautiful.
High key. Like, when you think about music and you think about now, because music is like teaching in some way. It teaches you how to do stuff, like how to go out, how to stay in the house, how to do whatever. Like, I don't want to be too specific, but when you listen to music, music makes you. So when you now resonate those sounds, those words to people who are listening to you, who are older, younger, or your age, how do you like translate that across the border?
You mean like how do I reach a different demographic or a different age group?
Yeah, like with your music, how do you get people's attention in all ages? Because the way they say, not every music is for everybody. But music can be for everybody if everybody listens to what the content is, and then they take what they want or they drop it all.
Yeah. So the thing I learned early was that your content don't matter if it don't sound good.
Say it again.
So your content don't matter if it don't sound good. So it's just like you could have the keys. You can have the exact path on telling somebody how to make $1 million. But if you come to me dressed in rags, then I don't want to listen to any money advice that you have. You haven't figured it out yourself. And if you have, I don't want to do it the way that you're doing it, because supposedly you have money, but you still look like you're homeless. I don't want to do that either. So presentation is everything. First impression is everything. And you gotta understand that you're in a saturated market. That's how I had to realize, like, okay, you got bars, okay, you have a good content, but so what? Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Like, if it can be found elsewhere, then that means you gotta turn it up a notch. If you just have something that nobody else has, okay, you can chill. You know, it's just like, let's say somebody that's dealing some type of drugs. If they have the best on the market, they don't have to tell anybody. They don't have to do no kind of marketing, promotion. They know it's going to be sold. But if everybody got the same thing you got or something similar, now you kind of have to throw in a deal. Or you kind of have to, you know, give some type of incentive. And that incentive is making the best sounding music. So, yes, my content comes from God. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not like I'm just creating content. My content comes from God. All I have to do is make sure it sound good. Because that's what we editing down here. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's what we editing down here. The lyrics, the message, that's all, like, you know, spirit-led. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got to think about it. You look back in the Bible, they ain't say, they were making a terrible noise, or it sounded bad, but you just kept playing. No. Every time they talked about music, they always say joyful noise, beautiful sound. David played the harp better than anybody else. So it's not just about, is this from God? Yes. God is trying to work with every single human being. So I'm sure you do have something from God. But is it quality, though? Does it sound good? In my case, does it sound good? Because I'm, like you said, I'm dealing with kids. You know what I'm saying? So content isn't their go-to. Content isn't their, like, number one, like, I only want to listen to it if, you know what I'm saying? They don't have those type of preferences. Their preference is, do it sound good? And in that case, when you have an audience that's all they care about, that means your job is to make sure you don't cut the message, but you give them, at the same time, giving them everything they think they want. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They think they want to hear about, you know, all this vulgar stuff that's in everyday music. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what they're gonna be inclined to. So even when I did that song, the school song, Speed Equals Distance Over Time, I just used the beat that was already popular.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me, and I used the same flow of the beat, of the song. So you can't tell me that when this person is saying, slap a girl, blah, blah, you know, kill, you know what I'm saying? Rob. When that person is saying that it sounds better because what they're saying, because of the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? That's not what makes it sound good. It's the beat. It's the flow. It's the delivery. So all I got to do, come with the same beat sometimes, the same flow, the same delivery, but with the message though. You know what I'm saying? How can you deny that? How can you deny somebody coming with a positive message with the same sound that you already know and love? You know what I'm saying? That's like WHATABURGER just randomly becoming healthy, and they told you everything they have there is healthy. You already love WHATABURGER, and now it just got better.
I miss WHATABURGER.
It's no longer killing you.
Exactly.
And you knew it was killing you, but it was just too good.
Yeah, you were like, whatever, I'll work it out.
I'll work it out. It can't be that bad. Right. And that's exactly how we are with music. Even though we know that our eyes and our ears is the you know, portal to everything, to our heart, but we still treat music like, it can't be that bad. And when I say we, I mean me as well. Like me. I don't ever say things to make it seem like, oh, that side, oh, that's what they do. No. If I'm talking about it, it's most likely because I do it as well. When Chief Keef came out, I was a big Chief Keef fan. At the same time, that was the same year, 2012, it was the same year that I dropped my mixtape, talking about something completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We was not on the same content, but it was just something about that music. It just sounded really good, and it made you feel good at a certain time.
Yeah.
So it's like, why fight that when I can work with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm just gonna work with that because, and I've been talking for a minute, but
I'm listening.
Because at the end of the day, there's some things that is human nature. You know what I'm saying? So trying to fight somebody else's human nature, you can fight your own. You know what I'm saying? You can fight your own flesh. That's what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? But trying to expect that from somebody else and be like, why do you want to listen to that? Why you, you know what I'm saying? And trying to put that on somebody else, that's what you can't do. You know what I'm saying? You can't go around condemning, judging people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that you used to do. Like, how dare you almost? It's like, how dare you? Like, how can you be that big of a hypocrite that you was just doing this, but now it's just so detestable to you that when other people do it, you just instantly judge them, instantly condemn them. How that makes sense?
It don't.
It don't make sense. And I talk about that on the project. Because my biggest thing is, one of the worst things that parents and adults say is, do as I say, not as I do. That's probably one of the most toxic elements of adult to kid relationships, or a parent to kid relationships. That's one of the most toxic. The only other thing that's worse than that is abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. But to tell a child, do what I say to do, don't do what I am doing, is so toxic in many ways. Think about it. You're not saying don't do what you see others doing. You're telling that child, don't do what you just saw me do. How does that make sense? You just did it, and you did not die. So, me looking at it, that looks like a cool thing to do, and I won't die if I do it. So, of course, I'm going to try it. Because clearly, it can't be that bad if you're doing it.
Right.
And if it is that bad and you're doing it, then you don't care about yourself. So don't pretend to care about me.
Period.
If it is so bad and you're still doing it, like let's go all the way and say heroin. If you're telling someone, you're telling your child, don't do heroin, don't do heroin. Don't think of it as, oh, we all know heroin is bad. Don't think about that. Think about a child's mind. If they see people doing heroin, they are not thinking, oh, I don't want to do that. They're thinking, my mom does it, my dad does it, they're still fine. They might be tripping at times, but they're still here. They're still lovable people. So that means I can still do it. And, boy, maybe all I have to do is not get addicted. Or maybe all I have to do is do halfway. Or maybe, you know what I'm saying? That's what they're thinking, but they're not thinking, oh, I can't do it because I'm watching you do it. You can't tell a child don't lie and you lie all day. You can't tell a child don't cuss and you cuss all day. It just doesn't work. Like, our brains don't work like that. We're trained to do what we see being done, not necessarily what we're told. Very few instances do people go by strictly what they're told, and those are like militant situations. You know what I'm saying? Or manipulative situations. You know what I'm saying? But if I see you eat chocolate cake at 12 midnight, how can you tell me when you catch me eating chocolate cake at 11 p.m., how can you dare like whoop me or like be mad at me, or you know what I'm saying? I watched you do it. You did it. So it's just like, oh man, I could go forever about that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because it just makes total sense because it reminds me of back in the day when, or even now, because we live in the world where we can see things happen and we can talk about it and information is out there. So if you think about it, for example, like you said, do as I say, not as I do. And you think about a kid who is being told by his dad or his mom, don't touch that. Don't look at that. Don't say that. And then they get spanked or they get beaten up. And then tomorrow they see the same person that told them not to do it probably even 10 times harder. So you're like, okay, so if I don't do it now, am I out of the game? Am I missing something? You know, so it's like now I'm fighting my brain to realize what is right. And I don't know what else to think because I don't know anything else because I'm still growing.
Bingo. Especially if you go somewhere else and they're also doing it.
It's going to look normal.
They're also eating that cake. And then maybe they don't tell you not to do it. So you get away with it there. And you know that when you did it there, you didn't die. You know what I'm saying? This is hypotheticals, but the whole point of it is, this is my whole point. We can't, as if we say we're lovable humans, we're loving humans, we cannot judge anybody or punish or condemn or look down on anybody that hasn't realized what they're doing shouldn't be done anymore. You know what I'm saying? Just because we realized it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you realized every shot of that alcohol was damaging your body and is detrimental to the human body, and you realized it after you took the shots, after you already became an alcoholic, after you barely survived a car crash because of drinking and driving, after these things, you realized it. So now you're telling me you're looking at everybody else like, what's wrong with you? Because they haven't found out what you found out? You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
That's the catch. You cannot, When you find out something, when you come into wisdom of something, you cannot look down on. What did Jesus say on the cross? Forgive them. They just don't know. They don't know. It's different when they don't know. It's different when somebody doesn't know. It's different when I didn't know. I was doing these things, and you know what's crazy about not knowing? Just because somebody tells you something doesn't make you know about it.
Facts.
So don't say, I told you. So what? I didn't know for myself. It's just like your relationship with God. Just because somebody tells you God is good doesn't mean you know God is good until you experience it for yourself. So rewind that. Just because somebody tells you this is bad doesn't mean nobody can open their mouth and say, you know it's bad. You know it's bad because your sister did it. Or you know it's bad because your dad. Or you know it's bad because I told you. No. Only way I would know is if I figure it out for myself. However God makes that happen, but I got to experience it and figure out for myself. Does that mean I got to do every bad thing in this world to know that it's bad? No. But if I do something bad, you cannot judge me. No human can judge another human. It's only God, and that's the thing. Look what Jesus said. When Jesus had a chance to judge, you realize that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time Jesus had a chance to judge, he refused. So who are we? And Jesus could judge. He's the only one that could. They told him, this lady was found, what was she doing? Having sex, doing something. They told him, we need to stone her. Jesus said, yeah, you're right, man. Everybody who hasn't sinned, y'all started up. Here y'all go. Grab one of these stones. If you know you haven't sinned. And so now you start seeing people,
right.
Okay, I couldn't do anything. And then Jesus was left with her. He said, I'm the only one left. I'm the only one left here to judge you because I'm the only one that can. And I say, no, I will not. So how can you open your mouth? That's why I don't believe. I can't go with this religion stuff. I can't go with this Christianity. I can't go with this Islam. I can't go with that. Because you opening your mouth to call yourself a Christian, then you go judge somebody, which is the exact opposite of everything that Christ talked about. You can't do some things and not do the main important thing that he talked about. Don't tell me, oh, I tithe. You tithe, but you judge. You tithe, but you condemn. You tithe, but you think it's your right to convict people.
Exactly. It's a terrible thought process. Now that you're even thinking about it, it's like the same way we talked about, like you gave the example of Jesus and stones. And if you use that same example and stretch it to when he said, how can you pick out a log in somebody's eye when you have a speck in yours?
Yeah, no, it's even different.
It's actually the opposite. My bad.
Facts.
Either way, it still hits home.
Yes.
You know, and it's like you have a log in your eye, I have a log in my eye, yes. And you can't see me unless you see the mirror. So if there's no mirror, I'm your mirror, and now you judge me because you see something.
Wow. That's crazy. You got to say that again.
Yeah, definitely. Guys.
You got to say that again. You got a log in your eye.
You got a log in your eye, I got a log in my eye. You can't see it. I mean, well, you can, but if you really want to judge me, you can say it, but you can ignore it. But the best thing about this is that you have the chance to tell me because you're my mirror. And if I don't have a mirror in front of me, that means it's your responsibility to tell me what's going on. The same way a child has the responsibility to look at the father and say, hey, tell me what I need to do because I don't know. So the father now takes that responsibility upon himself to be like, hey, all right, this is wrong. And he'll be like, why? And he'll explain. Yeah. And then when he explains, he'll be like, okay. And then somebody else sees it and they're like, oh, okay, now I understand. Think about Lion King. You know, how he was talking about, oh, don't go there. Don't go to the Pride Land. Don't go. And he still did. And you can see what happened. So we're always going to be curious. Even Adam and Eve, let's go all the way back. Like,
Facts.
don't do this. Don't.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it because we're curious. We have this human instinct of like, hey, don't open this. Don't open this message. You want to open it.
I will. Yes, I will. Says who? Who said I can? Yeah,
exactly. Tell me.
Only way I want is if you force me. Facts. You're right.
It's crazy. Like, and then social media is the worst. Because now it's like, oh, you got a range, you got this. You probably rented that thing. And now you're flexing on somebody who's actually getting paid, but is not flexing because, like, think about that. You look stupid.
Facts. No, you're right. You're so right, bro. And you know what? The thing that hit me the most, because my project is called Adolescents. And I try to go back and forth between calling it a tape and an album, because it's album quality, but you know, it's not my official album yet, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's album quality. And so it's called Adolescents. And I spelled adolescence with the second part of it spelled like lessons learned. And the reason behind it is because I truly feel like we go through stages of our life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we take that for granted because we look at you look at a little boy and you'll start yelling at that little boy, stop crying, stop acting like that, you're acting like a girl. But you're talking to a child that for the first few years of their life, the only way they could get anything was by crying. Right. But you're saying, oh, you're a man. Those manly distinctions and responsibilities haven't came up yet. So you yelling at this child that he's a man, you're a boy, you need to stop, that's so toxic. You know what I'm saying? So I said all that to say the adolescent stage to me is that stage where a boy gets to become a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a chance where this should be the most grace period for any human being, is the adolescent stage, because this is where we're learning the most impactful lessons of our life. Where this is where we can. This is where you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is where a lot of it is happening. I won't say everything. But so we're learning all of this in our adolescent stage. But however, at the same time, this adolescent stage can completely ruin our life forever. One wrong move in a learning stage of your life can destroy your life forever. Talk to the kids that are 17 years old, ready to go do life sentences. You know, talk to the kids that's 15, 16 years old in the grave because of one wrong move that we made in our adolescent stage, where our, you know, scientifically, adolescence is about growing physically, mentally, and science won't talk about this, but spiritually. This is the stage where we have been allotted to do it before we get to, you know what I'm saying, that adulthood. So why do we judge the kids of this age? Why do we treat teenagers, why do we treat young teens, young adults as if they are demons, when all they're doing is learning how to cope in a demonic world? And so just like how you said, this is the part that hit me. You said that is a mirror. We are mirrors of each other. We are reflections of each other. So just how that dad looks at that child, and that child is supposed to be that mirror to show the way, that child should also be your mirror. Exactly. You should be able to look at that child and see, okay, this child is acting up similar to the way I was acting up. So that means I should offer this person the utmost amount of grace, because I needed grace to get this far. Because if I was condemned the way I'm ready to condemn this kid, I probably wouldn't have made it. It gets deep. I got a song on there called Young and Dumb. And then on that song, I just wish that older people would just lay off. Like, just lay off, just relax. You were just young and dumb with us. You know what I'm saying?
High key.
You were just young and dumb. And the thing about young and dumb, this is why I love that phrase so much, is that who isn't young and dumb to somebody? These kids that I teach, these 14-year-olds,
whoa,
they seem young and dumb to me. 35-year-old, I seem young and dumb to him. 50-year-old, that 35-year-old seems like a child, like a kid that doesn't even know what they're doing yet. And imagine an 80-year-old. You think that 50-year-old looks like something to him? They're thinking like, oh, you still young and dumb. You still haven't figured out the meaning of life yet. That's what they thinking. And then now imagine you hit 100. Even somebody that's 90 is still young to you. 10 years younger than you. Can you imagine? So who's not young and dumb? You know what I'm saying? It's all about perspective, and it's all about ultimate grace. You should have grace for anybody, because young and dumb is not the age. Young and dumb is a season. Young and dumb is a what's the word? Is a status. It's not an age. That's why you see little kids, maybe like 14-year-old kids, 15-year-old kids, way more mature, way more intelligent, way more wise than an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old. Because young and dumb is not your age and your ability to synthesize. That's not what young and dumb is. Young and dumb is young and dumb is just being younger than anybody else, because 35 is young to somebody. That's super old to me. Young, and then dumb. The dumb part isn't necessarily like you're stupid. The dumb part is more of on the ignorant side, just not knowing.
Right.
And ignorant is such an error. But when I say ignorant, I don't even mean you're just a wild fool. What I mean is you just don't know. You just haven't learned it yet. Why are we mad at people who haven't learned something yet? You know why? Because they're not learning it the way we're trying to teach it. So now we think something is wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you hear parents say, "What is wrong with you?" Well, if you want to be honest, I'm a product of my environment. So you really should be asking, what is wrong with my environment?
Exactly.
And if you're responsible for my environment, you really should be asking, what is wrong with myself?
Exactly.
This could get deep.
Man. This can go deep, bro. I think this is a teaser that's gonna really like settle in for the next few weeks, because you're dropping very soon. So this is gonna give people something to think about.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. And that's what I want from people when they listen to my music, when they listen to me speak. I just want you to know I'm not speaking for no reason. I have a message. The message might not be for you, okay? If you're listening to me right now and you're like, man, nothing he's saying is resonating, why this guy needs to stop talking, it's not for you, and I promise I love you just as much. I don't know you, but I don't have no bitterness towards anybody who doesn't understand what I'm saying. And it took a lot of maturity for me to get to this point. I'm not upset if you can't understand it the way that I'm trying to put it, because I'm putting out a general message, and so I can't speak directly to you, whoever's listening. But there's somebody that's listening that will feel like I'm speaking directly to them, and I want you to know that is God. That is not me. I cannot take credit. I just want you to know that. And this is how I'm rocking to the end of my life. So if you rocking with me, rock with me. If you not, you might come around later.
Exactly.
And if that doesn't happen, somebody else that got my same message that's gonna put it in a way that you can understand it. They coming. Right?
They definitely
so that's
coming.
How I feel about it. They coming. They gonna come because God not giving up. So He gonna send somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes when he sends somebody else, he sends somebody else 10 times better than you. So don't think you're the big boss, or you're like, oh yeah, Ovasabi. Nah, you're going to drop like a fly.
You feel me?
So yeah, humility is number one out here. Like whatever you do, even though you have $1 million in your account, don't act like trash to somebody that has $1, because that $1 million could just break the bank and something could happen. Anything could happen. Look at the recession we're in. Like anything can happen to you. So don't think you're the big boss trying to be all talk. And you know, even things that are happening behind, people are coming out and talking about them with domestic violence, you know, rape cases, you know, families divorcing. Like things are just happening because there's no base. And if you're thinking about this really, really deep, because we can get deep, but we're gonna get to the close of this, and I just want to let you guys know that anything that is happening to you today happened to you at some point in time before you were that point in time, because you planned that at a time. So you know what I'm saying? So you like me, like if I think about myself, I work hard. You know, I don't just say, okay, I'm gonna wait. If I don't do something, someone's gonna have to push me. And sometimes I don't even sleep. And if you push me, I might just push harder and you may never find me again. So I'm just keep going and I'll keep pushing to the point where I know this is where I can reach, because God doesn't give you a vision and you just sit on it because you think he's just gonna perform it like magic. No, you gotta bring out your best work, go to the best schools. Don't be mediocre. Don't be acting like you know it all or you don't know anything and someone's going to find out, or you're going to pay someone to do it for you, which is fine. But don't pay someone and then go and do dumb stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense, because the whole point of life is to add value. If you can't add value to someone's business, the reason why somebody hires you on that job is because you have value. If you had no value, you have no currency. That currency, that value is zero. So the skills you have, the soft skills, the hard skills, the people skills, the spiritual skills, you got to take all that in. And you got to be spiritual for that to even happen to you, because sometimes we think on our own basis. People think with their minds and rarely with their hearts, because they see stuff. And you were right when you said that. Eyes and ears are the portal to the heart. If you can't control your mind on what you perceive and what you hear, then eventually just count 365 days and then run that back. You realize that you really, really spent a lot of time wasting. And even if you think about this pandemic, people have been wasting time. Other people have been creating time. People have been making time out of stuff to create stuff, you know. And right now you're about to create and drop something. So it's a blessing to have this year as an evidence that, you know, whether good or bad, God is still good and we can still rock it out, and people are still going to listen, because this is the time that information is the best policy.
Facts.
Definitely. Before we go, let them know how they can find you. What's the best way to reach you, so that if they want to ask you any more questions, you know, they know where to find you.
Yeah, man. I wish we could talk all day, but we're going to continue the conversation. Like Nipsey said, R.I.P. Nipsey, he said, this is never ending, you know what I'm saying? Just taking a little break. But follow me at Sam Boom Kid, SAN as in Nancy, Boom Kid. I'm Sam Boom Kid on everything. Follow me, Sam Boom Kid. It's like Sand Boom Kid, but without the D. Follow me on there. Talk to me. Show me some love. I always show love back. I'm here. I'm on this earth for a reason. So I don't know. Maybe you can help me figure out what it is. But say what's up.
Exactly. Say what's up to the big boys. You know, it's your boy Flav Beats, and we also got Sam Boom Kid. John Patrick, thank you so much for being on this Play radio station. Welcome to the Playroom. Thank you for being in the Playroom.
I love it at the Playroom. I'm definitely coming back.
Oh, yeah, facts. Definitely. We got to have a part 2 for this.
Facts.
Yeah, let's get it. All right, bro. Take it easy. Have a wonderful night.
It's all love.
All right, bet.
For sure.
Yeah. You heard it first from John Patrick. You guys, I don't even want to say anything after this because I've said it all. He said it all. And we're about to set it off. So here we go. We're about to drop. Have a wonderful night. Have some dinner. Enjoy it. Have some wine. Have some graceful, thoughts. Think about things. Meditate. Plan yourself. This is the last day of August. So you got to be very, very intentful with what you're trying to do right now. So go in and go out. Peace out. I'm out.